Thank you. And now let me invite Ingenieurs du Monde.
Thank you, Mr. President. This Council is a body governed by rules. One of those rules is that a member state wanting to know the accreditation status of an individual must ask in plenary or in the expanded bureau. While working at the Secretariat, I discovered that an exception was being made for a single member state. The UN's sworn court position, confirmed to me by the most senior officials in 2020, is that the Secretariat may unilaterally decide to hand over the name of any human rights defender applying to attend this Council weeks in advance to any member state without informing either the individual or this Council. There has never been any investigation of this practice, which the UN says in court continues. A UN judge who openly criticised the policy from the bench was removed from his post without notice before he could publish judgment in 2019. He is on the record as saying that this was an attack on the independence of the judiciary by the UN itself. My question is simple, Mr. President. Do you agree that the Secretariat can secretly hand names of human rights defenders to the Chinese government weeks in advance of meetings? And if not, what will you do to stop it? The victims of the policy deserve to know. Dulcan Issa, who is sitting behind me and will speak shortly, has repeatedly asked precisely how many times and on what dates his name was handed over without his knowledge or consent, and if this still happens. He has never received any response. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And now let me invite the Institute for Protection of Women's Rights.
Thank you, Mr. President. Since ISIS fighters surrounded their last Syrian enclave in 2019, many of the women who had left their countries to join militant groups ended up in the camps, which sounded the alarm over the fate of children stuck in the Kurdish-run center. Many were either born there or were taken to Syria at a young age. The women who either French national or had French children, had faced either a search warrant and were being dealt with by judicial authorities. About 600 children of EU citizens are now with their mothers in Roj and Al-Hol camp in northwest Syria. Since 2019, these children have been held hostage along with their mothers. About a third of them are French and the rest are German, Dutch, Swedes, Belgian and British. Human rights officials have repeatedly emphasized that the French government has failed to repatriate the children who have been imprisoned in camps inside Syria in a very poor condition for years. It should be noted that ISIS terrorists are once again looking for reconstruction and recruitment, and the children who live in these camps are one of their main targets. The Institute for Protection of Women's Rights believes that France should repatriate these children immediately, since it has that responsibility and power to protect French children in Syrian camps from imminent danger and violation of human rights and dignity. Thank you, Mr. President.